Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. Come on in. Welcome back to my channel, Jaleesa Reading Beyond the Book Cover, where we stay reading beyond the book's cover. My name is Jaleesa. Welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back if you are returning. I know, hello stranger. It's been a long time since all of you have seen my face, but I wanted to come here and do a video about some things that are to my left and to my right, which are books. I haven't shown any physical books on my channel, so I was like, let me do something a little bit different and give y'all a little mix up, something a little bit out of the box, as you want to put it, and basically make something that's a little bit more of a companion to a blog post that I already have up. So it's like recycling content already. I released the blog post earlier this week. I'm looking at it right now, and it's a blog post that I created based on a tweet that I stumbled on from a Facebook post that was in a Facebook group that I'm a part of. So follow that. It's a Facebook group that I'm a part of that somebody posted this tweet in, and I was like, oh, this speaks to me. Like, it speaks to my spirit completely. And I'm gonna put a picture of it here, and then I'm also going to make sure that I leave the blog post down below. But I had to share this and had to respond to it and make it my own thing as far as how I feel about the tweet. So the tweet is from Jonathan Edward Durham, and their handle is at this one and then the number 0 VER here. Again, the tweet will be right here so you can see, but follow along with me and you'll see what I mean about how the tweet just spoke to my spirit. I had to immediately like it, share it, and do my own thing with it. So the tweet says, I recommend no less than 4 copies of any beloved book: a paperback for margin notes and lending to friends, an ebook for reading with greasy snack fingers, an audiobook so you know how character names are pronounced, and a pristine hardcover to be buried with you like a pharaoh. So as soon as I read all of that, I was like, oh, what a word. What a word. What a word. So this is an opportunity for me to put some physical books in my video, and not having it to be like a review, because most of my reviews have been on books that have either got through NetGalley or so ARCs, or they've been books that I've checked out from the library. But I do have physical books. I just don't have a physical library at the moment. Physical library in the sense that I don't have shelves. The only shelves that I have are the ones that you get in an apartment. So like the desk area or the business area, as they call it. So there's like 2 shelves there. And then I also have a coffee table, I guess you would call it, in the sitting room / living room. What other room do they call it? Front room. There's 3 different names for it. So the front room, living room, sitting room, same thing. I have a table here that also has space for me to put books. And then because I have so many books, I also have books that are still in boxes. And then I have books on the side of my bedstand. So your girl, she needs a shelf, but I feel like I need to wait until I have an actual house to do that. So it's neither here nor there. That's not the purpose of this video, but the purpose of the video is just basically to show you some of the books that I have that are multiple copies, and then give you like a little tidbit as to why I have multiple copies. What you'll find out is that I don't usually buy multiple copies of books that are my favorites. I know it's weird. My favorites, usually if I have the book already, I will just reread that one copy. And because I think it should look well loved, worn, like the spine should be coming off. Almost like if you go to church, you see your grandma, grandpa, and aunties, maybe even your mother and father, or you see that the people in the church, they have a very well loved and worn Bible. That's how I like my book to be. I want it to feel just like a home lived in. But I have this weird thing about buying books before I read them, and I buy multiple copies because I feel I'm gonna like it. So you see where it's like kind of backwards to what I'm doing. It doesn't make sense, does it? But I hope to get to these books one day. There are some that I have already read. I can count maybe, how many have I read already? 1, 2. That's it. I'm so embarrassed. I've only read 2 of the books out of these books here. Oh no, 3. Okay, so 3 out of all these books that I've actually read, that I have multiple copies of. So I'm gonna do better. One of these years, maybe soon, I'll do a project where I actually go through the books that I have multiple copies of and let you know whether or not it was worth me buying multiple copies. Don't take that. Okay, take it, but don't take it. Let me do it first, and after I do it, then you can do it. So let me stop being goofy, and I'm going to show you the books. So the first book I'm going to show you is Outlander. So of course I got this because everybody was talking about how good the show is, and it's a chunker. This is the mass market paperback, and because they have the full size paperback like this, I have 2 copies. And not only that, I actually have the rest of the books, like the rest of the series, I think up until like the green one. I wish I would have pulled them all down, but I didn't. But I picked them up because they have this, I like a floppy, can you hear that? I like a floppy paperback. That's why I bought this one. So I had this one first. And then when I went in the store again, I'm like, hold up. All these books, they're floppy. They're floppy. When you open them up, they stay. They stay. I don't have to trouble myself about, oh my God, the paper is coming up. They stay, honey. So I have that. I've read, I don't know if you can see my bookmark. Here, I have this cute bookmark. It's a magnetic one. It says keep calm and carry on. I read some chapter, maybe like a part 2. Chapter 6. That's how far I've gotten. And the book was not bad. Oh yeah, I did get to part 2. So I like stopped, but I remember most of it. And I started watching the show a little bit. I do intend on reading it, but I feel like my life, the way it's set up right now, it's a little bit too chaotic to be handling something this big, but you never know. I have to be in a mood for it because I am a mood reader, but I do have that. And then I also have another mass market paperback, and that is Game of Thrones. So I only have this one. I didn't buy the rest of them. The reason why I only bought this book is because it doesn't seem like George R.R. Martin intends on finishing the rest of the series. So I was like, let me just try the first book and that be that, and see if I actually like it. I think I bought this one after I had bought this one, because I think I was going through like a fantasy phase, but like high fantasy phase. But I knew that because this series is ongoing and it's long, there's a lot of characters, there may be a higher chance that I may not read it to, completion. But trying the first book won't hurt. And I'm pretty sure it was on sale, but I have this in ebook form. Let me check my little chart over here. I know you can hear my mouse clicking. Maybe you can hear my computer humming. It's about to take off, honey. Let me see. George Herman. Okay, I have it in mass market paperback and Kindle. So I have a copy of it on my Kindle. So that'll be easier for me to handle, because books like this are like bricks. The heaviest book I own, I'm pretty sure, is It, or that I own and have read, is It by Stephen King, and I will not do that again. Like, child, you need strength to be holding these books and reading them, especially when they're this size. But this book here I got because I was intending on also watching a television show. I didn't watch the entire thing, and I wanted to try it out just to see what it's like, because books like this, they have a cult following for the most part, and I think it's nice to be able to have conversations with people outside of the genre that I'm used to reading, which are genres that I'm used to reading. What I read mostly is thrillers, horror, feel-good comics, some domestic thrillers, suspense, but fantasy, I read it too, but not high fantasy. So that's why I got this one. And look how tiny it is. I think I made this maybe like chapter 2 of this one. And I don't remember anything. So once I have like some sit down time, I'll get to this one. Next one. Don't be mad, get glad. This is the one that I have 3 copies of. So that's why I forgot to say, I don't have a lot of audiobooks. I have one that was given to me for free from Audible when I signed up. And I think that's like the book by Rob Rob something. He was in a lot of 80s movies. I have that, and then I have another book that a coworker had given me. And that's it for audiobooks that I own. So there's no point in me including it here. But I do. This is what the most copies that I own of any single book besides the Bible. And the only reason why I own a lot of copies of the Bible is because my mother, she owns a lot of copies of the Bible. And anytime she got a Bible, me and my sisters got one too. So that's that on that. But I have an ebook. So I have a Kindle copy, I have a paperback copy, and a hardback copy of this book here. And it is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Yeah, Yanagihara. And I got this, again, because the text, look how it's floppier than old girl over here, Outlander. So flop. Listen. Make the pages twerk. Oh, my Lord. I love how it opens. And it stays. Oh, but I also like this little step back action happening right here. I mean, it's nothing exciting underneath it besides like some blurbs, but still, I like that look. This is the paperback, and I also like the monochromatic design. So I have that, the paperback, I have the Kindle, and then I have the hardcover. The hardcover. I'm trying to remember why I picked it up. Maybe I just wanted to feel fancy. I don't know, but I know it's a chunker. This book is huge, and I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy it because so many people have had visceral reactions. They have cried to this book, and I'm like, if you cry, I most likely will cry too, so let me try. I have 3 copies, so this one I most likely will annotate, as well as the ebook, and then this one, I don't know if I'm ever going to pick it up and actually read it because I want to keep it nice and neat. But you never know. I maybe will. You don't know. The older I get, the more my feelings towards things that I have change. And the way I want to treat them change. All right. So next one. I don't know if I want to do... The next ones are multiple copies that I have that are... Oh, actually, I lied. I have another set of books, or another book that's a set of 3. Whatever, we'll get to it. I don't know if I want to start with Sarah J. Maas's series or Robin Hobbs' series that I have multiple copies of, so bear with me. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick a tiger by itself. If you always let him go, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. My mama told me to pick the very best one right over here, and you are not it. Okay, so we're going to do this one. And this is the Farseer Trilogy. I have the paperback, so the UK covers. I don't know if the US is like this, but I know I had to purchase these from the book depository. I have the paperback, and I have the I think it's the 25th anniversary special edition of all 3 books. And it's illustrated as well. I've already read this book. I read it. I checked out from the library, read it, enjoyed it thoroughly, had to get the book. And I was like, I know I'm going to finish the series. It's just that Robin Hobb, with her books, she tends to write a lot, which is not a problem. But because she has you so invested with the characters, like, you go through so many ups and downs. Be ready to go through an emotional awakening with reading these books here. But I picked this up for ease of reading and to annotate. It's stiff. You see, it don't flop. So it's like one of those books where you may have to crack the spine. I'm not a cracked spine person, but I maybe will when I reread it. But I have the paperback and then the hardback. Let me show you some of the pictures. This is illustrated. I love how it looks on the side, the spine, the back. And then, and so I'm pretty sure, like, the ebook that it has a map. I'm pretty sure the ebook that I had read from the library had the images, and that's why I picked this up. The images give so much. Sorry, I'm like having a hard time speaking English. The images add to the story in a way that I've never experienced a book of this length and of this genre before, and I really enjoy that. Why can't I find a picture? Okay, the other day when I was flipping through this, I found pictures easily. Okay, here it is. So I don't know who these 2 people are. It doesn't matter. Look at that picture. Oh my gosh. And then I'm gonna show you the other ones. It's basically the same story, so I'm not gonna say it again, but I have the other ones as well. So I have the Royal Assassin. Each book is getting bigger and bigger. This one is my favorite because I love the color red. Oh my god. Oh, I'm pretty sure I made the same sound when I got them in the mail. Oh, oh, oh. So it's nice. Nice. I haven't read this yet. I think I started it, but I didn't finish it yet. So I have those. And let me show you the last one. The last one is green. Yeah, this one. Thickums. How many pages is this? And it's not, I wish it doesn't flop that much. 800 something pages. And this is heavy. It's green. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Oh, look at that, the spine. Oh, I think I'm gonna put them all together. Well, no, I'm not gonna do that because I'm sitting up and I don't want to drop them. But these are my most special and prized books here, the special edition illustrated. I never thought I'd be one of those people that would buy that, or buy these, but I did. This is the only special edition that I own. I do not foresee myself buying special editions of anything else anytime soon. Will not do. Now, the next one, sorry, the books are like, you see, they're starting to take over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these other books around. So I have some kind of rhyme or reason to some of this stuff. So another book series that I have multiple copies of is the Throne of Glass series. Now, listen to me. I haven't read any of those books, but at the moment when I found YouTube, because I was already a reader before YouTube, let's get that straight. I just was not aware of Sarah J. Maas. So, of course, as soon as you find out about things, you start buying things, right? So I'm thinking to myself, oh, I should enjoy it. But I think at that, my mindset then was like, this book is cute, I should buy it. It wasn't a matter of this book may be good at all. So I, at one point, had these plans. Y'all are gonna laugh when I tell you this. I had these plans of purchasing not only the paperback, but also the hardcover and the mini books. They had these mini collection of the books. It was like $10 to $16 for these tiny books. I hope I can find a picture of them. If I can, I'll put them up. But I was willing at that time to put down a grip of money for these books. I saw them at Barnes & Noble one day, and I noticed that they didn't have all of the books at the time, so I did not purchase them. And then the more I thought about it, the more I felt like an idiot for even considering it, because one, I already wear glasses. How am I going to sit there and read a book that is so tiny without wrecking my eyes up even more than they already are wrecked up, right? So I'm glad that I've grown up and I no longer think that way. But yeah, at one point in time, I was willing to buy three to four copies of each of these books. But now, no. Whatever I have, and I'm not about to try to get anything else and do anything differently. So I have multiple copies of The Assassin's Blade, Heir of Fire, and Queen of Shadows. Queen of Shadows, I have 3 copies. I'm pretty sure one of the books was on sale at from Kindle, so I think I got that one maybe for like $1.99 or $2.99. And then the other ones I just have 2 copies, which is the paperback and the hardcover. And I bought these according to whether or not it was available at my Barnes & Noble, because I have this thing about buying things online. They don't come the way I want them to, then I'm usually a little bit of, not necessarily upset, just disappointed. I want to be able to pick and choose what I have. That's why when I go to the store, I do this thing where I do not pick up the first item. I usually pick up the item behind it. I know, it's a mind thing. But yeah, when I went to the Barnes & Noble to buy these, you would see me being very picky. I am inspecting the entire collection of books before I actually settle on which one I'm going to house. So I'm going to show you all real quick the ones that I have. And I think another reason why I think I wanted to buy all these is because for whatever reason at the time, I know they have different covers now. At the time, they had these lotion covers for every single book. So the tiny book, this is the paperback, and then the hardcover. So paperback and hardcover. They have I call it lotion cover. I don't know what it's called. If you don't know what it is, let me know, because it's one of my favorite types of book covers. So this is the cover. If you feel it, it has this like smooth, soft lotion cover. Like, I just want to hug it. A lotiony cover. And I think I have 2 more books like this that are standalones. One of them is by Jack Ketchum, and I think the other one is by some other lady, like 1,000 Nights, something of the sort of that. But yes, the cover is what got me. I don't even care about the story that much, not anymore. And that's why I've given up on trying to purchase all of the books. I think I have all of them up until whichever one is the yellow book. I do not own the blue one either. I just remember by color. I don't really remember the names. But I have Throne of Glass. I have The Crown of Midnight, Air of Fire, Queen of Shadows, and then Storm something, the yellow one. I didn't get the blue one because, what for? I think it's like a novella or something. But I'll have the Air of Fire. This is the paperback, and it's actually very thick. I think another thing, if I remember correctly, slowly but surely, each of her books started to have different paper. I don't know if you all remember at the time, but when the last book came out, it looked smaller than the rest of the books, but it actually, in actuality, it was bigger or longer. The only reason why you couldn't tell is because the books were the Bible pages, very thin pages. I don't know what kind of paper it was, but I like those kind of pages too. I like those kind of books as well too. This one's floppy. Ooh, Queen of Shadows. I'm pretty sure I got this because that's what it's called. Empire of Storms. Wait, do I have the yellow one? I don't know. I maybe do. I have Empire of Storms. Okay, I think that's the last one I got. I know for sure Empire of Storms is the one that has the Bible thin pages. So that's one of those books that fools you. You pick it up and think, oh, it's not that big. Check again. So if you all know what kind of covers these are, like the filling, the lotion filling, let me know, because I've been calling them lotion covers this entire time because I don't know what the proper name is. So these are the ones that I have from that series, Throne of Glass. I forgot which book this is. I think this is book number 5. But yeah, I only have multiple copies of 3 out of the 5 plus books. Other than that, everything else is a standalone. Now I'm going to go through some other books that I have, but these are the ones that are not part of series per se. They are and they aren't, so follow me. Just give me a moment. I'm moving stuff around. If you're wondering, like, what's she doing over here? I'm moving things around. So that it'll be easier for me to clean up later. How do people do? I always ask this question. How do people do this on a regular basis? Taking down books out of their library to put them back up. And this stresses me out just a little bit. Seeing them like this everywhere. Because usually what I do is my library, my personal library, the way that I organize it is I set everything up or organize it by alphabetical order of the last name of the author. I do not do color coordinated. I do not split up series. I don't do it according to title. I do it according to the author. So that's how I'm able to keep up with stuff. I use an app to keep track of all of my books, but this is what that's how I organize everything. And it's easy for me to find stuff. If somebody's asking me, oh, have you read this and other? Let me go and check and see. And so it's easy for me to just go, pick it up, and be good to go. Sorry, I know I'm like at the point where I'm stuttering because I'm not used to talking this much at length. Anyhow, this book here is called Forbidden. I remember picking this up because a lot of people were talking about it at the time. And this is when a lot of people were purchasing, they most likely still are, but a lot of people were purchasing from Book Outlet. I stopped purchasing Book Outlet because, one, I didn't like how I would get a book and there would be like this red dot underneath it. I know, it's something small and trivial, but it irritates me. I don't like seeing that. But they would do that, and then on top of that, there were some racial issues going on when it came to them picking people to sponsor, and or people that are their spokespeople on the internet, and I'm not down with that. Like, that's not cool. Stop. And when they were held to task about it, it just got ugly. And this was back in like 2016, 17, 18, somewhere around there. I know it's pre-COVID, but they had some racial issues happening as far as who they would choose to promote their books, and I didn't like that. So I stopped. I no longer purchase from Book Outlet. I don't care how cheap the books are. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But I did purchase this book from them, as well as I think just this book and some other ones, but I can't remember. But this is Forbidden. I remember why I purchased this. I'm not going to say why, but if you look on the back of the book, you'll know why. And I'd rather not know more than that. But I have this on my Nook. I think the Nook was on sale. Not Nook. Is it Nook? Or Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble Nook book was on sale at the time, and that is the reason why I purchased 2 copies of these. I have a feeling I may enjoy it, so that's why I also bought it. But I feel like it's also going to be one of those fast reads that I would just pick up every now and then, because you can see it's like all gapped. And I think it's a teen or YA book, now that I see the back of it. See, this is a little stuff I didn't pay attention before when I bought the book, you see. So I didn't pay attention to that it was a YA book. But I'm going to read it. I don't know when, but I'm going to read it. So I have that, Forbidden. Love the cover. It reminds me a little bit of another cover that I have that's pink. I forgot what it's called. But I'm pretty sure one of these days that book will have a debut. But yeah, I have 2 copies of this one. And then, you know what? Now I remember how I organized it. Okay, so the books that I showed you before, I have either multiple copies that are physical or multiple copies that are physical and digital on Kindle. This stack here are books that I have that are multiple copies that I have physical and a Nook book. Okay, so I knew I organized them a certain way. This one is called Every Day is for the Thief by Teju Cole. I purchased this from Books, not Books and More. What's the half price books? I was gonna call it halfway books, but it's not halfway. Half price books. And I'm pretty sure maybe a lot of books from Book Outlet come from there or other places that are of the same kind of sort, because that red dot is there. But I purchased this one because I had a feeling I was going to enjoy it. Something about books that are short. So you see how thin it is? It has deckled edges. I don't know if you can see that, but it has deckled edges. Something about books that are small like this has me feeling that it's going to be very impactful. That tended to happen a lot with me. I remember feeling like that after reading The Vegetarian. I forgot the author's name, but I'll put the book up here, The Vegetarian. And then I also remember reading Toni Morrison's God Bless the Child, I believe so. And that one was short but impactful. You know, these books, they're tiny, but they have a word. So I have this on my Nook, and then I also have hardcover. I think it's my Nook. Let me check before I start lying again. Hold on. Every day, I'm checking on my computer. Hardcover and I lied. This is a Kindle. Sorry, this is a Kindle. Maybe I should not. I'm gonna just say digital. I have a digital copy because my memory's not that good, and I don't want to be scrolling the entire time in the video. Because I'm what? Lazy. Next book, Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. So this book here, I was going through a phase where I picked up every single one of her books. I think I have a copy of all of her books right now. Most of them, I have a copy of it. Because I have this feeling that I'm going to enjoy every single one of them. I have heard, I'm very aware, that Miss Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, or Adichie, however you pronounce it, she has the same sentiments about the trans community as J.K. Rowling. And I'm hoping that doesn't affect the way that I read these books, but I am aware of her feelings. And that's all right. She can have her feelings. But I will not be purchasing any more books from her. I may read some more books from her, but I don't think I'm going to be using my money to purchase them. I'll just check it out from the library. Because the thing is, if you have a gift when it comes to writing, and I'm able to enjoy your story outside of how you carry yourself or your beliefs, I'm all right. I'm a pretty chill person. If you can't tell already, I am on ice. Well, not on ice. I'm on chill. I'm on rest. I'm on, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't be really doing all that rah, rah, rah like everyone else is usually doing when it comes to authors behaving badly. But I purchased this book because, like I said, I have all the rest of her books. I have a very, very, very strong feeling I'm going to enjoy her books. They're going to be impactful. I most likely will want to reread them because I feel like I'm missing something. And I feel like it may be of a discussion. So, and I also like this cover. So this one is floppy as well. If you can't tell, it's small, but floppy. I think it's like it's less than 300 pages. Is it less than 300 pages? Yes, less than 300. Now, it doesn't stay open, but still, it's floppy. And I don't know what kind of cover this is. I know y'all are like, you noticing the covers? Yes, I do. This cover is thick. But I don't know, like, let me get close. Can you see the texture? It's like this, I don't know if you ever come across someone that gives you like a business card and it's super nice. It's one of those that if you bend it, it's gonna look ratchet. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it, but I like this cover. I like the way it feels. And I hope I enjoy it. It's a nice book. I usually don't go for books with faces on there, but I like the way that it feels. So one of these days I'll get close. I will get to it. Y'all, I'm tired. I came from a funeral today, so I've been outside in the Texas heat. It's 94 degrees. I've been trying to drink my water, eat my ice. Had a diet Sprite. So I've been trying to stay hydrated and all that good stuff, but that heat, it takes it out of you. So right after I finish this, I'm going to take me a shower, edit, and maybe even take a nap because I am tired. This one I've already read. I know, I finally read another one. Wait, here I am again. Like, cannot remember whether or not I read something. Doesn't matter. Well, I did. I think I already told you. The Assassin's Apprentice. Read that one already. Also read this one already. Tanana Reeves Dew. I have 3 of her books. I hope to have all of them one day. I really enjoyed her in Living Blood. Is it Living Blood? I think so. I'll put the picture up here. I read this along with, at the time, I think it was The Locked Beautician, Bookish Realm, maybe Erica from The Broken Spine. I just remember it was a group of, and then also, what's that other girl's name? I just remember there was a video. I may have to maybe find it and attach it, but I remember reading it along with them, and we had a really good discussion about where the story was going. Everybody was feeling some type of way about the characters, how the woman reacted to the husband and everything. But I have Tanana Reeves Dew's books. I have 3 of them. I want to get all of them. I love her writing. This one I may have to reread because I think at the time I read it in 2016, because I think this book came out in, let's check, 2015. Yeah, so see, I read this book in 2016. I only remember because that's the year I got married, and my husband was working late nights, so in order to stay up for him to make sure that he came home safely, or if he needed a ride home, I would read. And this book here is, I'm missing another book. I'm so sorry, yeah. I'm like all over the place. I took my time with it. The first story is like so memorable, and that's just a shame because the rest of it was okay, but it kind of went over my head. Maybe I was too young then to actually understand, so that's why I said I'm gonna have to reread it again. But the first story is the reason why I even purchased it, and it's called The Lake. So if you ever get an opportunity, try to read The Lake. The Lake was so good. It's unsettling. It made me feel some type of way, and it's one of those things where the book, not book, sorry. I keep saying the book. The story, one of the stories, The Lake in particular, it sticks in your dreams, the way it's written. I love the way that she describes things, how she makes it where the person, the character, they're slowly creeping up on you in a way that it gets under your skin. Like if the person were here right now, you wouldn't want to be around them. So she has a way about her writing that it's impactful, it's memorable, and it makes you want to go back. So I'm going to go and try to read this again, maybe not this summer, but next summer, and really take my time and pay more attention. I think the first read I didn't pay a lot of attention, so maybe the second read I will catch more as far as what the meaning is behind them. But I have this in ebook form, and I also have paperback. It's a little floppy, not too floppy, but it doesn't stay open. See, I'm having to balance it, but it's fine. We like a floppy book. But Go Summer Stories by Tanana Redo. Go get it if you haven't. If you're not a short story person, don't pick it up. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, don't trip. It's okay. But if you do get a chance to read The Lake, that one's the 5-star story in this collection for me. For now, because remember, I'm gonna reread it, right? One book that's not pictured here, because I completely forgot to pick it up, is The Fifth Season. I read that book in 2016 as well, and I was reading it around the same time as Go Summer Stories, because I would, like I said before, stay up late reading a book, waiting for my husband to either call or come home, one or the other, because I need to make sure that everyone is safe in the house. I have multiple copies of that. I have the entire trio, but that book in particular, I have ebook and I have paperback. Next book that I have, The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. I have seen the movie. I need to rewatch it. I think I enjoyed it. I'm not really sure, but I have this, and I also have the sequel, or it's the prequel. It's the blue book that has a boy on the front. So I have this in ebook form and paperback. It's a little floppy, but it's not the kind of floppy I want, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll do what we can. And I think this is this sci-fi? I'm not sure, but I feel like this is maybe one of the few sci-fi books that I do have. And hopefully I'll get to it one day. Like, I feel like I have to sit down and really assess my library of my physical books and ebooks, and try to figure out how I can make it where it's like theme oriented, so it'll keep me reading it. Because I read more of my library books that I borrowed than I do my physical book. Well, not physical. I'm stuttering now. I read my library books more than I read the books that I own, which I know is like a shame. Why? Why do I do that? I do not know. But I need to get through these books. I need to be more intentional about picking up what I have rather than always borrowing from the library, because I can. Another book that I have that I've started and I did not finish, and I'm starting to think maybe it's not for me. I have books 1 and books 2 of the book 1 and book 2 of the Illuminae trials. Illuminae trials. I don't know, but I know I picked it up because it's so cool. Nobody can say that they don't want a book like this. This book here reminded me, I think I'm telling on myself now, I'm telling on my age. This reminds me of a Power Rangers book that I had back in the day when I was younger, because it's so interactive looking. Like, look at this cover. Oh my God. Now, when I pick up the book and look at it like this, I'm like, this is cool. I like how this looks. It reminds me also of another book that I used to read when I was younger, which is the Amelia's Diary, or Amelia's Books. Amelia's Notebook, that's what it is, which is like a comic book, but it had stuff like this where it's like stories in the margins and notes and all kind of stuff. And then this is very interactive as well. Like, you see emails between people. So it's like a multimedia book. I tried to read it. I don't know if I should maybe read it along with the audiobook or what, but I don't know, maybe I've grown out of it. Maybe I'm too old for this, but who knows? I'm gonna try again. That's one thing about me. If I didn't like it, I put it down and say, try again later. I don't completely give up on something. Bear with me. I have 4 more books, and after that, I'm gonna let y'all go, honey. Next one, Fates and Furies. I'm not even gonna lie. I picked up this book because the cover is pretty. I like how the trees, the color, I think it's trees, or is it water? That is a question for somebody else. But I picked it up because the cover is beautiful. It's pretty. And I think I also purchased the ebook because it was on sale. You'll notice a trend. Like at that time when I had the money to do so and no self-control, I was purchasing multiple copies of stuff because it was on sale. And you know who has to blame for who I have to blame for that? I can't even speak right. That's God telling me don't be talking about people. Book Riot. I blame them. They have like this notification that comes out. If it's not a notification, it's a post they put up on their blog, and it shows all the books that are on sale for certain days. At that time, I was heavily leaning into whatever list they had, and I was purchasing all the books. It's like, oh, $1.99, $1.99. That $1.99 adds up. So now I know better. Don't do that. This one, another book that I read. This is the last book that I've read in all the books that I've shown you. So I have this in ebook and I have the physical book. I don't think it's anything special. Let me open it. Yeah, no, it's just completely white, but this book was wild. I remember most of it. It was crazy. I read 2 books by B.A. Paris. She's like one of my Autobot authors. So B.A. Paris, real good. You want to be like, oh my God, B.A. Paris. Behind Closed Doors, I think it was her debut book. I'm not really sure. But I enjoy the way that she writes her books. Is it she or he? I'm not sure. We're going to just say they. I like the way... Wait a minute. Picture. Okay. She, yes. So this is her in the back. I like the way she writes her books, her characters, and I'm never really sure who was the person that we're accusing or looking for. Maybe I'm slow. I don't know, but... I like her stuff. So I have this book. I have another paperback book from her. And then I've read a couple of other ones that I checked out from my library. So I have multiple copies of this one. And I almost like will reread it again. Even though I know what happened, I need to refresh myself because the husband in this, basura, trash. Okay? Truly, madly guilty. I also was going through a phase where I was picking up anything by Liane Moriarty. And I think that happened after I read a couple more thrillers. And I was like, I remember people saying that if you like a thriller or like a domestic thriller type deal of a book, to reach for Liane. So I have multiple copies of this one. I have an ebook and this hardcover. I tried to read this before. I remember, I think I took it to like a dentist appointment. Only got a couple pages in before they were like, Jaleesa, we're ready for you. So after that, didn't go back. So but it doesn't mean I'm not going to read it. I think I was watching Life with Monet or Life as Monet, and she had said that a whole lot of nothing was happening in this, and it made me laugh. So I'm looking forward to a whole lot of nothing, but hopefully I'm surprised. So I'm thinking that if I lower my expectations, the book may seem better for me. So we'll see. I'll get to it one day. I have watched Big Little Lies, but I haven't read it. So I need to get to that as well. I think I was watching that and something else at the same time. Something that was adapted from a Gillian Flynn book. It's like that was the summer of thrillers. It was wild. It was a wild time. The last book, oh my God, 43 minutes. I'm so sorry. I hope you all had some snacks and a drink with you this entire time. Or if not, you left and came back. So I have a paperback and a hardcover copy of Six of Crows, which is the first book in the Six of Crows duology. I have seen the first season of the show on Netflix. I don't know if it holds up or not. I picked this book up because 1, the cover, 2, the naked book. Let me take it off. You see how I love a black, I love a white. On the side is glistening, and then the pages are black. They're black. I love that. And the inside, my favorite color, red. One of my favorite colors, red. So I was feeling it because of the look. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm just amazing myself again, just looking at stuff. Let me shut up. because I will keep going and going and going, and that's not what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna hang it up. I'm gonna hang it up here. Hang it up here. I'm gonna leave the blog post down below. I'd like for you to let me know which books that you have multiple copies of, and if you do have multiple copies of books, what motivates you to purchase multiple copies? What is it? Are you like me where you just purchase multiple copies because you have a feeling that you're gonna like it? Or do you only purchase multiple copies of books that you have read already and you know for sure they are gonna be the bee's knees? And you just want multiple copies so you have something different to read each time you decide to pick it up. That's all I want to know. I don't want to know too much. Just a little bit. Until next time, you know what I'm going to say, right? Drink your water. Mind the business that's yours. I didn't hear you. What'd you say? Yes. Continue reading beyond the book's cover. My name is Jaleesa. I am the face behind Reading Beyond the Book Cover, and I'm signing out. Bye.